What do you think about that?
I don't know if we should be going so close to it.
Beleza, beleza. Sí, sí. Bonita, bonita.
Come to Brazil. I like this. The only thing I'm just conscious of, yeah, we're not in the safest area, right? So
have you ever seen a market like this? It's on top of a highway.
no, never.
Look at this.
But other stuff too, like the price varies a lot.
Hey, Brazil, beleza, beleza, sing. Biggest thing is you talk to him first. Hey, hola amigo, beleza, hakuna matata, and everything is good. But if you're like Chris the Freelancer, going like, I'm scared, you're gonna be in trouble.
I think you should try and put forward a brand that is authentic. But for me, it's just like I kind of chose what I represented, and then sometimes I didn't quite fit it. So I was like trying to fit myself in that box.
What have you learned from your interactions with me?
I think too much and
That's true.
And beleza.
Beleza. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go. Back in bold, as you see, at a Brazilian typical establishment, middle of the day, drinking a couple caipirinhas. Look at this, beautiful. Today I'm with an interesting guest, an online friend that has came to see me in person from a far ways away. Well, he was already in Brazil, but mainly you came to Brazil for me, right? Mr. Chris the Freelancer, how are you doing?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm good.
You like this little jumpy thing back here? They usually have it for the kids.
Honestly, I didn't even notice it.
But tell me, what are your first impressions, obviously, of Brazil, and then we're gonna get into the Northeast.
I guess the first thing that well, not everyone, but most people said to me when I told them I was coming to Brazil is like, be careful. And so that was like front of my mind coming to Brazil. And then I remember my first night, I arrived in my place in Ipanema, and like I had I made sure to like only carry my phone, and I had it even attached to me via a lanyard, and like I was like this paranoid. And I walked down the street and I saw like a Hermes store, and I'm like, okay, and then like a Louis Vuitton store, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem dangerous. It seems like very normal, like a day in Europe. A guy who recognized me from YouTube, he's a mutual friend, he like yelled out to me from across the street. They were at some fancy restaurant, and I went over and said hi. And I was just, it didn't take me very long to like let my guard down, and within 2 days I'd gotten rid of that lanyard, the phone attached to the lanyard thing. And then I just couldn't believe like how, like, I don't want to say it's so safe, because like, you know, just because I've had a positive experience, but it's not like it's not as dangerous, at least in my experience, as I thought it was going to be, and I feel perfectly safe. So that would be like my first sort of impression of the country. Yeah.
Alright, so today we're going to do a little, I think, tour of the city, vlog action, have conversations in between. Damn, I'm getting a little burnt. But yeah, we'll see you later. Alright, first and foremost, the famous drink that I still can't pronounce, Caipirinha. I used to hate it. It was terrible in Florianópolis, didn't want to drink it. Went to live in Belo Horizonte. I'm like, damn, this is decent. Then I went to Rio and I was like, oh my God, this drink might be one of my favorites. Now for sure in the Northeast, I drink it all the time. Chris, your thoughts on the famous drink?
It's a cultural experience, you know, drinking the caipirinhas. I think if I wasn't in Brazil, I probably wouldn't be drinking it as much. It just feels like the Brazilian thing to do. So yeah, it's a sugary drink. Let's be honest.
Sugar cane, yep.
Yeah. So.
But it's strong.
So yeah, it's like I don't know. It's a vibe, but it's I probably don't want to drink it all the time, because it's like probably a lot of calories.
Oh. Yeah, the issue is like it gets you drunk though too, and it's like sweet, sugary, so it doesn't feel that way. But I always get like gut rot from it the next day. And but man, I love Caipirinha. I can drink it a lot. Alright, so yeah, we're cruising around Joao Pessoa, leaving the beach area, going to Centro. Kinda, you've been here for a couple days. Give me your gist of what you feel about the city.
Well, I've basically only hung around Bessa, basically living your lifestyle of just going from the Airbnb to the Ville des Plantes, I think it's called.
The best. Shout out Ado.
Yeah.
We're doing some content for him. We like you guys a lot.
Yeah, no, it's legit, that place.
No, like legit. Luxury, Wi-Fi plugins, good food. Pricey for Brazilian standards, but like I get 3-4 meals a time there with the coffee, and I pay $20-$25, and it's great.
Yeah. It's weird because there's like, it's very quiet around there. There's nothing, and then there's suddenly this like block of land where this garden exists, and that's Villa des Plantes. Yeah, so I've just been hanging around there. I went to the Joao Pessoa sign to record a video, and so I saw that, but I was only there briefly. Yeah, I want to do more like exploring this weekend, but now we're actually on our way to Centro, so I'm seeing like a completely different side to Joao Pessoa now.
What do you think about all these skyscrapers and like massive buildings? I mean, when you think of Brazil, especially the Northeast, you don't think of, I mean, everywhere there's skyscrapers.
Well, I just didn't know anything about the Northeast to begin with, right? So like, this is like, feels like, I don't know, is there many gringos up here? Because it feels like, I haven't seen any apart from you, right? And like it feels like even the friends that I met in Sao Paulo, when I told them where I was going, they didn't know what.
They've been in Brazil for a long time, right?
Yeah, like expats that have been living here for like at least a year, each of them. No idea what Joao Pessoa is, and yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for like you being here and checking it out. So yeah, but it's my gateway to the Northeast, so I'll probably be checking out, well, I'm going to Pipa, so and then probably head to Natal after that.
But what did you say overall about the Brazilians? You said something about you never met a person that had bad energy, basically, or what?
Yeah, we were talking before, and I said that I've never, like, all these stories you hear of like violence and crime and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't put ourselves in those situations, but it's just crazy to think of Brazil like that. It's crazy to think of Brazil like that because, like, all my experience here, everyone's been so friendly, so nice. I'm not saying everyone's like, you know, not everyone's smiling and like.
Tell them about the Uber driver the other night.
But like here, actually, people are pretty smiley in the Northeast. So, or like Joao Pessoa at least. Yeah. So I locked myself out of my apartment. Luckily, had a dinner or like a meeting scheduled with you. So I just kept track. Like, and then also luckily when the Uber came into my area, I like checked where I was, and so like I knew the direction of the restaurant. And then I just ran to the restaurant asking people.
You locked your phone in the Airbnb, all his stuff in the Airbnb.
Yeah, sorry. So I locked myself out and I didn't have anything on me, like no cash, no phone. And then, yeah, it's a long story, but anyway, at the end of the night, you helped me book an Uber back because I'd got like I needed a password to get in my door. So we got the password, and then you booked an Uber for me, and the Uber address was wrong. So like I can't look up the address, so I had to just go off memory. And the Uber driver, if I'm going to be lost in a city in the northeast of Brazil that I've never been to before at 1 a.m. at night, this was the best driver that I could have had, because he spoke pretty good English for up here, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, like. And an Uber driver can be like, fuck, well, I want to get back to making money. Like, I didn't have any cash to give him so that we could keep doing the trip, because I was like, I had nothing on me. But he was so good about it. He was like, oh, don't panic, we've got all night, we'll get there eventually. And he was laughing too. He's like, ah,
Beleza.
Yeah, it was so good. Like, so yeah, my experience has been good so far up here. It's just it's very different to Sao Paulo and Rio. Just very chill, very relaxed. Feels more like I'm in the country. Yeah.
But this is the capital of the state, and there's 1 million people in Joao Pessoa.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that, right? It feels like a beach town, like just tranquil.
I guess the density isn't that high. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of green. It used to be one of the most green cities in the world. They had like awards and stuff.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, let's see if we get in trouble now, because we're going to Central, which at night you shouldn't be here, but during the day there's a famous Church of San Francisco. Portuguese built it, and it's a lot different in the centro than and by the beach. So Chris is gonna check out the real Joao Pessoa.
Looking forward to it.
Beleza. Alright, get in this. What you think about this colonial history, huh?
I don't know any of the history, I'm just seeing it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh. Hola, amigo.
One of your properties in here.
Alright, just outside the cathedral. I posted on the Instagram story a while ago. But we got a little hideout here, you know what I mean? So yeah, last time I saw like 5 dudes kind of going in and out there. A little spot, a little chill spot, you know, for the homies, right next to the church. What do you think about that?
I don't know if we should be going so close to it. That's what I think of that.
Hey, I'm not a digital dork, Chris. Come on. I like the real travel. See the culture.
Yeah, I just didn't bring my burner phone with me.
Hey, what do you think of the colonial buildings though, huh?
Yeah, nice. Definitely a different side of Joao Pessoa.
Way different than the beach area, huh?
Yeah, but then even where we are investors is quite different to like where the sign is and everything too. So like there's a few different sides. Where we are is like very chill.
Okay.
Not right now, but like where we're staying.
Alright, we're gonna go to the least chill spot now. Oh, then the lake. The lake is really chill, so enjoy.
What's the least chill spot?
Alright, we're in a little cologne area here, right? What's your name?
Jorge Negri.
Georgie. You got all the materials. So you basically get designer cologne and they make it for you. You see? Hola, amigo. Look at him, he's cooking it up. Beleza. I bought 3 different colognes from these dudes and it's legit. About 20 bucks a pop and they last long, they smell good, so I recommend. Oh, you want to get a camera? Beleza, beleza. Sí, sí. Bonita, bonita.
Aí, olha aí a câmera aí, chegando aí. Ô, meus amigos, filma aqui logo.
Oh, you get on the camera.
Come on, please.
Sim. Oh, it's here.
Thank you, thank you. Huh?
Brazil, amor. Beleza, beleza.
My name is Michael.
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 Ah.
You sing song?
É?
Sing a song?
Yes, yes, yes.
What?
Sing.
Sim, sim, sim.
Oh,
É bonito, né, cara?
do you know how to sing?
Presença, né?
Você
Michael Jackson.
conhece a palavra sing?
Não.
Sing is that?
É.
Ah, yeah.
Não gostou.
Você pode? Oh, não.
Quer falar?
Only a little.
Fala um pouquinho aí, por gentileza.
Só um pouco.
Só um pouquinho.
Falo só um pouco.
Gringo, estúpido gringo. Tchau, tchau. Tchau.
Show.
Alright, so have you ever seen a market like this? It's on top of a highway.
No, never.
Look at this.
Police sirens.
Little police sirens or an ambulance, who knows, but here we go. Shopping Central. You know the basic stuff, Chinese, knockoffs, iPhone cases.
You came here, was it for a specific purpose or just to check it out?
Just to check it out, you know. I like it. Like, look at this. It's crazy.
It's a different design, isn't it?
Alright, so you said you haven't been in a place like this in Brazil yet?
This is probably the most Brazilian place I've been in Brazil so far. Like, I don't think I'd be surprised if I saw another foreigner here.
And you were in Rio and Sao Paulo. You never saw nothing like this? You stayed in your bubble, huh?
Well, yeah, like, I mean, I asked you before, was your purpose coming here the first time? And you said just to check it out. So like, yeah, I'm not, unless I have a purpose, like, you know, to check out like a tourist attraction, that's when I'll go to like a centro. But otherwise, I'm not just like roaming around centros in Brazil. Like, because those are like, it's weird to me because downtowns in Australia are like usually the nicest areas, or one of the nicest areas.
Not in Brazil.
But in Brazil, it's the opposite. You go to pretty much centro, any city is like the place you really got to look out for yourself, right?
But it's amazing. Look at it. There's like a big Paraíba Palace over here. This is famous. Let's go check it out. Got guys playing cards. Look at that. Beautiful. See, you got the little activities out here. They play cards, you know, especially the old fellows. I love that. You know, I got the birds chirping. It's like you're in Europe. Literally, it's like you're in Europe. You see the architecture, people just chilling outside. I mean, I don't see no difference. Especially if you don't act scared and you just be normal, people are really good with you. Biggest thing is you talk to them first. Hey, hola amigo, beleza, hakuna matata, and everything is good. But if you're like Chris the Freelancer, going like, I'm scared, you're gonna be in trouble. But you're lucky you're with me, you know, we'll keep you safe. Yeah, I got the street food going, got the bikes out, the music. Hakuna Matata. Good people, you know? I'm a fan. Just gotta get a beer. Oh, I found a beer. A little monument action. St. John, John's people, Joao Pessoa. So, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Maybe I put that in here, maybe I don't. But what do you think about this little different part of Joao Pessoa, the Centro, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of like you. I like to see the real side of a country.
Same.
So I like this. The only thing I'm just conscious of is like, yeah, we're not in the safest area, right? So I'm like keeping an eye on my valuables a bit more. But it's not like I'm not freaking out or anything. I'm just being conscious of it, you know?
If you were alone, would you be a little sketchy or no?
Oh, I guess if I was alone, even more so, probably. I think there's a bit of strength in numbers, right, with robberies. Harder to rob two people than one.
Same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've traveled all over though, and you haven't been in much danger. Is that more so because you're just very selective of where you go, or is it a certain vibe you give off, or what's the story?
No, it's just a lot of the danger is, I mean, if you travel a lot of Latin America, security is something you have to consider all the time. Southeast Asia, I mean, maybe Vietnam, like, but Thailand, you can just be a complete idiot and nothing's going to happen to you. Bali too, the only stuff I've heard happening is like happens to women because they're easier targets. Maybe it's partly because of like the stature of Brazilian men as well. It's like, I don't know,
macho testosterone.
Machismo, yeah. So they're a bit more intimidating and more like willing to exert themselves on you, I guess.
Well, you were alluding to it before. I said a lot of it has to do with culture, but you said also in the Eastern Asian countries like Southeast Asia, they're not like really trying to work to survive or getting by day to day. Like, even though they don't make much money, they still have decent lives.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say in Chiang Mai, the people that are earning like nothing still like nothing on our standard, you know, when you convert it to USD or whatever, but they're still like able to comfortably afford living. That's the vibe I got. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's slums in Chiang Mai. Do you know what I mean? There's not this.
It's not like super clean, but it's not, like decrepit and like scary at all.
Yeah. So I think, and again, I don't know. Like, I'd have to like probably do research into this, but the vibe I get from Thailand is like they might not be earning much in terms of like US dollar, but they don't seem to be struggling a lot either. I think here probably the people are working super hard for not much money. Well, not everyone, but like there's probably a large percentage of the population that are.
Oh, it's true. Well, I don't remember getting asked if I want 32 installments at the grocery store in Chiang Mai like they do in Brazil. Like,
that sounds crazy to me.
People be paying, on credit 32 different times for groceries. That's the extreme version. After the first 4 or 6, I believe you have no you have interest. After those first 4 or 6, you don't have interest, you know.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people who buy their basic groceries on credit down the road. I mean, and I think that is a scary situation to be in when you're living in that much debt and to survive. You know, not just buying a car and financing it. Like you're literally, you know, eating food off money that you will earn in 3 months. That's scary.
Yeah. And yeah, I totally get, like, I don't judge these people. Like, if you're desperate,
I do. They're the worst ever. Just kidding.
If you're desperate and you need to make money, yeah, do what you need to do. I just don't want to be your victim. That's all. Like, I'll you can happily rob someone else, just not me.
Well, I mean, then again, and people have discussed this, that's par for the course. If you want to go to places that are not as developed, that are cheap in your standards, like, you need to be able to be like, damn, I'll get scammed every once in a while. Oh, I lost a phone. That's like, that you factor it into your budget. Like, I've only been robbed once. It was for a shitty necklace I didn't care about. Because I'm kind of smart and I'm not scared, so I think I elude a certain, like, oh, I'm not gonna go attack him. I'll go attack a different, you know, gringo.
Yeah.
But if you want to take advantage of geo arbitrage and so forth, like, you got to be willing to deal with the consequences. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think you figure out what your risk tolerance is. For me, the worst thing, obviously there's much worse things that happen, but the main risk here is getting your stuff snatched.
Yeah, you're not going to get shot. You're not going to get killed.
Yeah, and then I have heard a story of a guy getting shot on the beach, but he resisted when they tried to steal from him. So, like, yeah, it's kind of like what they taught me in my first job: don't resist. You know, if you try and get robbed.
So the exact opposite advice of what I just told you. I said, fuck them. Don't give it to you. I said, if they come after you,
that's a risk. Do you really want to risk your life on that?
No, if the gun is on my head, then I'm okay. It is what it is. But like, if a guy's acting a little tough and I don't see any weapon, get lost.
Yeah.
Like, come on, get the fuck out of here. But if it gets serious, your iPhone. Like, the only thing I really care about with my iPhone, like I told you, and I did in the vlog, I have 25,000 photos from around the world that I cannot back up. So if I lose the iPhone, I lose all these memories. So I need to get that figured out. But yeah, bro, Brazil, knock on wood, is safe. I love it. And I hope it keeps this dangerous reputation. I said it before, because if it doesn't keep it, this is going to be the Thailand of the Americas. Because, you know, the vibe, obviously the girls, the beaches, it's just an amazing place that keeps a lot of people away from it because of this perception. There's a lot of truth to it that is dangerous.
Yeah. I guess one of the big differences between this and Thailand is, like, English level is better in Thailand than it is here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I don't think that really, I mean...
Yeah, look at me, I operate just fine.
You've been here for so long, don't really speak any Portuguese. Your pronunciation...
You've been here for like a month or two and you speak way better than me. Like, you can have conversations.
Almost. But yeah, the pronunciation of some of the stuff you say is hilarious too. But you get by, like, it obviously works for you. So yeah, maybe the language barrier isn't that big of a thing. But I am surprised that you don't, like, because there's certain things like, where is this located, is like, just knowing those words is like so helpful to me. Yeah, but I guess.
If I had to do where is this located, I say, Donde Church, Cathedral, Jesus. Oh, see. You know?
So yeah, I mean, they do speak a bit of Spanish, so you can say donde.
Oh, donde is not even Portuguese.
It's onde.
Onde. Yeah, they leave the D other. Yeah. Trust me, you're fine. Hakuna Matata. If you don't speak English, come here and have a good time. But it's better if you do speak Portuguese. Even though you've had, amigo, how are you doing? Come on the vlog. Come here. Hola. Not nombre.
Como se chama?
Rodolfo.
Rodolfo?
Hey.
Ah, okay.
Ask him what he thinks. What does he think of Brazil?
O que você acha do Brasil?
Nota muito bom. Dos melhores.
It's the best. Brazil is the best.
Yeah.
Isso.
Sim. Nice to meet you.
Ele gosta do Brasil.
Nice to meet you.
Eu também.
Tá bem? Como é seu nome?
Eu sou Chris.
Cris.
Yeah.
Vocês moram no Brasil ou moram em outro?
Ele mora em João Pessoa.
Uma pessoa?
Eu viajo.
viaja,
Yeah.
parece aquele norte-americano, você viu isso?
Americano.
Ele é americano.
Australian.
E sul-australiano.
Eita,
Yeah.
tá aqui Joao Pessoa viajando, aproveitando essa maravilha.
Yeah. Eu não entendo muito
Ah,
português.
Hey,
Desculpe.
Brazil, beleza, beleza.
Brasil,
Sing. Oh, ciao, ciao.
Obrigado.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy, he looked harmless, of course. Like, I just said hi to him, but if I saw someone that was dangerous, I would do similar things to that. Like, hola, amigo, beleza. And, you know, they start hounding you, then you say, hey, ciao, I gotta go. You know what I mean? But I think that's very important when you around people that look a little sketchy. You know, you say a little something to get out in front of it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that goes with the whole theory of not being an easy target. I mean, like, even looking scared shows you're more of an easy target. I mean, I was making jokes with my friends, like, what would be the ultimate defense in terms of, like, making yourself a difficult target? Like, and we got pretty extreme. Like, let's just say, like, if somebody tried to rob you, you just pulled down your pants and started screaming, running around.
Yeah,
they probably wouldn't bother you. They'd probably be like, fuck, this guy's nuts. I'm, like, leaving this situation.
These guys have issues.
You probably aren't thinking like that when you're in a robbery situation, but I remember one guy years ago in Australia told me he traveled South America, and he's just like, I just try to act more crazy than they are. I mean, if they bring out a knife and you've got it, and then you like bring out your own, maybe they'll leave you alone. I don't know, because yeah, they're not looking to. I don't think they're trying to rob people.
They
for
want
their
the
ego.
easiest possible
Yeah.
thing.
They're not doing it for their ego. They're doing it because they have to. So, yeah, I'm not suggesting anyone
Pull their pants off?
Fight fire with fire. But yeah, at least I guess walk around confident helps.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then yeah, like I've also heard similar to your point about talking to them, just even making eye contact, being like, "Hey, I see you. I'm aware. I'm not scared." Is like a bit of a defense mechanism as well. But you take it to the next point where you actually say something to them as well.
Well, because I think if you just look at them, then you're starting to look for like, hey, what's up? You know, you want to fight? I mean, that's an American thing. If you're staring at a dude's eyes, so if you give them a, hey, beleza, you know, a twinkle in your eye. Because I live by the philosophy that the majority of people, you know, are not evil, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you can touch that part of them where they're, you know, where they were smiling as a kid when they got a birthday present or, you know, whatnot, I think you relate to them on a human level. So, yeah, good tips for you. Subscribe. Hey, this is a crazy thing in Brazil. Some things are way over expensive compared to normal goods. I mean, look at this. This notebook, it's close to $10. All this stuff is $10. Like calendar, notebook, where is it?
Here, I think in notebooks. Bloco de anotações.
75.
So,
Hey, have you noticed that? Like, prices are weird for certain things in Brazil.
yeah, well, there's like the foreign things, right? Because they have
Importing.
they have the import tax, but not just that. Like, so Sao Paulo's supposed to be one of the expensive cities, right? And a lot of things are, right? But like, I found this lunch buffet for 32 reais, less than like I think that's like $7 US.
Yeah.
And like an all-you-can-eat buffet with like healthy food, all these different salads and meats and stuff. And I was like eating there all the time in Sao Paulo. I had coffee at a nearby cafe, paid about 20 reais, which is like what's that in
$4.
US dollars? Yeah, $4. Just, you know, like that doesn't make sense. One coffee, one all-you-can-eat buffet. You know, you'll go to like a cocktail bar and paying 50, 60 reais on a cocktail in a bar in Sao Paulo. Caipirinhas, you know, you're saying you like caipirinhas. The price of that varies considerably.
The place we were just at, the first
Yeah.
place, 8 reais. If you go to the beach,
Yeah.
20, 25 reais.
I went, yeah, and in Sao Paulo, you know, one place I went to was like 26 reais. Another place I went to was like, I think 11 or 12 reais. I'm just like, geez, it's like big difference here in the price of anything. So like prices are, like I get the whole import tax thing with like physical goods, but other stuff too, like the price varies a lot, which I guess I'm not used to because in my country, like, there's not a large discrepancy of prices, you know?
Yeah, so obviously I bring this up because those notebooks, $1 notebooks are going for $10 in Brazil, which makes no fucking sense, right?
Yeah.
But import, like electronics, are like 2 to 3 times as much. iPhones are like the most expensive per salary in the world in Brazil. Very isolationist economy. But also the reason why they do this stuff is to keep certain classes out of the area. So like, you charge expensive prices, only the rich are gonna come there, and you don't get any of the bad, quote unquote, types, or you separate the classes, right? It's fascinating, but there's such a discrepancy of pricing in Brazil, it makes no sense. In like that store, we're in Central right now, so it's not like a rich area necessarily, and they're charging those prices, which doesn't make any sense being in the area they're in, right? So not much, let's go.
Well, that's the crazy thing. Even like in America, an iPhone is pretty expensive, right? And so
no. In America, it's the cheapest basically in the world.
But even still, like to pay $1,000 for a phone, like the rate of cost of iPhones, I think, has been going up since it first came out, you know, a decade or whatever ago. And then to think you're in Brazil, which is supposed to be like on a whole a cheaper country, less affluent country, yet there's people paying double what people pay in the States for an iPhone,
and they make maybe 5-10% of our money.
Yeah, no, but I think what you were saying before is like there's definitely some really rich people, and stuff like that just adds to the disparity. I think, you know, like, oh, let's make these premium goods even more expensive so only the rich can have them. I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm not an economist, but you know, like. It's just like,
yeah, you're spot on.
You're gonna make the divide, like maybe there is like not a conspiracy, but it's all part of the.
Oh, there definitely is a conspiracy in Brazil.
Keep the status quo and keep poor and rich, you know.
100%. Look at this, Lagoa, the Central.
It's cool. This like circle thing.
Yeah, baby, I love it. It is so unfortunate because in Belo Horizonte they had beautiful lakes, Pampulha, but they polluted it. So I guess 30 years ago they used to have like, you know, boats on there, people swimming, and now it's like super dangerous, you get sick. And I assume this lake is obviously polluted too. But imagine like Brazilian lake life, you know, in the city, hot day, it's always hot. It'd be nice, but that's why we have the beach. That's why we're in the Northeast. I love the Northeast. 60-some floors. Tallest building in the Northeast. This is our guy. He's been very nice to us, helping us out. Translator. Okay. You should get a job as a translator.
I'm happy to help.
See. Appreciate it. Our Brazilian amigo helped us.
Hey guys,
Beleza. I love Brazil.
come to Brazil.
Come to Brazil.
Jampa, Joao Pessoa.
Joao Pessoa. Now we're on the beach, Cabo Branco action. You know, you see the plastic chairs. They're yellow this time. Normally they're more yellow by the beach, okay? Chris, showed you most of the city, most of the vibe. Are you feeling beleza or what are you feeling?
What am I feeling? I don't know. I like the experience today. Very Brazilian. I like being in a place, you know, that feels like you're traveling, you know? And Sao Paulo and Rio, you know, Sao Paulo especially, you just feel like an expat, you know? I don't know. Here it's like you were saying before, it's the beach, you know? There's a vibe.
How many gringos have you seen?
Just you. But we did meet like the nice guy before. Might make it into the video.
I'm gonna text him back.
Yeah, who was like speaking English to us. Yeah, I don't know, man. What else should I talk about?
Talk about life. Talk about what do you think of me from online personality to meeting in person. What do you feel?
How do I do I press the button once to switch it?
Twice.
Oh. Alright. Yeah, well, Nick is just like his videos. So what you see is what you get. Yeah, I appreciate that transparency. I'm not as transparent. I'll admit it openly on right now. Like, I present a certain side of me. It's not false, but I'm not putting out everything about me online. And so I appreciate people that do that. I don't know, maybe it's like you say, I'm an overthinker, but I have this idea of what I want to put out into the world, and that's what I do. Yeah.
But to be clear, you're not like a
I'm not faking anything.
You're not like a psychopath besides your personal image.
All right, everyone, verify that for the audience. I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah, like you're not a crazy person opposite of the persona you put on online, right? You're very brand conscious. You want to make sure, you know, it fits in with what's going on. But that's why I'm curious about these people. Is like they're a totally different person on the YouTube than they are in the person, you know, and it's quite sad because you fight a lot of different things and how your image looks, and I think you're always on edge about what could come about, or a person in your past says something about you, you know?
Yeah, for me, I've like tried to. What I thought of when you were saying that is trying to embody this brand that you've put forward, you know? And I think you should try and put forward a brand that is authentic. But for me, it's just like I kind of chose what I represented, and then sometimes I didn't quite fit it. So I was like trying to fit myself in that box. But honestly, I think with YouTube and all of that, like you do want to sort of choose your niche. Yeah, so like for those of you who might not be familiar with my channel, like I talk about digital nomad stuff, and it's all about the digital dorks and the digital dork destinations, right, as Nick calls it. And so that's a genuine interest area of mine, and I try to like, and that's like I do have this natural want to be a nomad and travel, and I don't find it like a sacrifice to like live on the road like some people do. Like I actually enjoy it more than just like doing the whole stay in one place, you know, have the, what did you say, the big TV or the big things, you know, like I value experiences and traveling more than owning stuff, you know, like or like decorating a room in my house, that sort of stuff. But maybe I'll change, maybe I'll be like that in future. I don't know, where were we going with this? Just like
Brazil.
being authentic.
Brazil learned any lessons so far in Brazil, or what is your ideas deep down?
Lessons about, I mean, I've learned some stuff about Brazil. I don't know if it's really changed me or anything. Yeah, I don't know.
No realizations?
No.
No, it's not comparable. You can't compare it to anything.
It seems like, I've said this to you a few times, like it's not so, it's gonna sound a bit weird, but like it feels not so far away from the culture of Australia, you know?
The Outback is it?
It's just like we're like, I think that's why Brazilians like Australia too, and like they fit in quite well in our country. It's like, yeah, we're quite, it feels like this like spicier version of Australia for me. Yeah. So it's weird, it's exotic in one way, but I feel like it's normal and at home at the same time. Yeah.
Alright, Mr. Chris, we've been drinking a little bit, we've seen the vibe, we're feeling a little beleza. Tell me, you've been traveling for a long time, you've seen a lot, you've done a lot. Give me some non-cliche, I don't want the cliche stuff, realizations, inspirations, things you've learned on the road, abroad, and maybe what could push someone to do the same as you.
I was gonna say, I wasn't gonna say anything like spiritual or anything, but like, I don't want to push anyone into doing it, to be honest. It's like, if it calls you, do it. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing like any spiritual thing like I've done. Like I mentioned to you, I've done Vipassana.
10 days.
Yeah, people are like, oh, would you recommend it? I wouldn't recommend it or not recommend it, but I would do it if you're called to do it.
Explain what that was. 10 days, no talking.
Oh, so I did this, it's a Buddhist thing. It's around the world. It's free. It's all runs on donations. So unless you're a dick or poor, like you will pay you will donate at the end because they feed you for 10 days and house you, right? And then you get, but like everyone works for free and they teach you the Vipassana method and they teach it in the traditional way, which is sitting in silence for 10 days meditating. And the schedule is actually 10 hours of meditation a day. It's ridiculous. Like, I could go into that story and like how I handled it or whatever. I didn't end up doing 10 hours a day.
But you didn't talk for 9 days.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't talk for 9 days because like on the 10th day you can talk halfway through. There's like this part where you can start talking again. So like with that as well as with traveling, it's like if it doesn't call you, don't worry. But if there's something inside you that's like, oh, I wonder what that's like. I mean, the only reason why you wouldn't do it, a lot of people, is like you have some sort of excuse, like you're scared or something, you know, or what might happen. But I would just say, yeah, answer the call. Like even nowadays, like not just to travel, but like I had something calling me to Brazil. Maybe it was just Nick and all the other guys that were saying come to Brazil. But like I felt like, you know, I don't listen to everyone saying, oh, this place is great. Like there was something about this place that I needed to come to. And, you know, where I was at in life too, I needed to get out of where I was in. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think of that?
That's poetic.
Yeah?
That's poetic.
Trying to take a leaf out of your book. Oh, shit, there's like, what do you call it? Shells on this. I didn't think that was...
Oh, you're allergic?
No, I'm not allergic. It's just like, I'm not good with seafood. So like, do I just eat it or
Yes, you
with
eat
the
it.
shell?
Yeah, very poetic. I think that is true. If there's something inside of you that says it's time to just see something, do something, feel something, take the leap of faith. You know, your gut knows best. That's what I always listen to, everything I've been through. There's some stuff, I told you this yesterday, or the other day when we met with Maria. I said, I just had the craziest deja vu.
Yeah.
I have in my brain, I've seen this before. You were sitting there, Maria was sitting there in Villa La Plantes, and supposedly deja vu means that you're on the right path, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a spiritual thing, right? But no, I think that's a good travel message. Don't force it, but if you feel it, go, run. Hi, Mr. Krista Freelancer. That's a lot of content for the day.
Got a bit there to edit, don't you, Nicky boy?
It's only 6 o'clock. The rest of the night, we have a lot of night to go have fun, you know?
Yeah, what are we doing, Nick?
There's the beach right there.
Oh, it's a shame I don't have my swimmers.
He said no swimmers. Swimsuit. Australian people. Alright guys, if we don't have more content, I hope you enjoyed it. Ciao, ciao.
Hi.
Krista Freelancer, not exposed, but exposed. Tell me something interesting. What have you learned from your interactions with me?
I think too much and
That's true.
And beleza.
Beleza. Cheers.
Cheers.